dashing American Muslim entertainers this evening. Hasan Minhaj, you know, and Wajahat Ali, some of you know, so you will get to know him better this evening. After Hasan Minhaj's masterful performance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Hasan and I can assure you, Wajahat Ali is always cool. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first go on record thanking profusely both the artists who have agreed to be here. This is something we have been trying to do for a long time, and I want to commend and thank both Hasan Minhaj and Wajahat Ali for supporting AMI's program and the work they're doing, and we are indebted to them. Thank you very much. I know I'm standing between you and the two great artists, so I'll be very brief. Just a brief introduction. You know the 69 historic synagogue, what a beautiful building, so they need no introduction. AMI is relatively new, at 22 years old. I thought that would be good if I can just spend about 3 to 4 minutes talking about AMI and what we are trying to do here. We were incorporated about 2 years ago as a non-profit, non-partisan organization to represent the views of mainstream Muslims in America. During the time I served in the Obama administration, I used to hear constantly from my colleagues in and outside the administration, I still do from many of my non-Muslim friends. And the question comes very simple when you get to serious business. What are Muslims, where moderate Muslims in America, what are they doing to condemn extreme violence when it occurs in the name of Islam? Because otherwise they see now Muslims, about 1.6 billion Muslims all around the world, otherwise are peaceful people. Why are we not seeing more condemnation by the Muslim groups in the US and around the world? I think that's a very logical question. So about 30 of us started this process after I left the administration. We chaired a task force where I was asked to co-chair with some of the folks. And essentially these were the groups, retired people from government, from the World Bank, academics, businessmen, and also prominent leaders in our community. And we did a 360-degree overview and a very much in terms of retrospective, in terms of what can we do to make the difference. And AMI was established in July of 2015. So you must be wondering what is our vision. And it's very simply to make American Muslims accepted by fellow Americans as valuable and contributing members of the society. Very simple. This is what we need to do. We do it more and more, especially in the days of the Donald Trump administration. And our mission is very simple, is to achieve positive perception of American Muslims as US citizens by being proactive, engaged, and credible voice for our community. So there are 4 areas we are working tirelessly since we were established about 2 years ago. One is to ensure that the policymaker in the administration and Congress, they are also the opinion leaders in the media and others, they are provided credible information about American Muslims and Islam in general. Number 2, to showcase the contributions Muslim Americans are making into the US economy, arts, sciences, and sports. Muhammad Ali, the late Muhammad Ali, everyone knew about Muhammad Ali, but there are thousands and thousands of other Muslims are making contribution to make America great, which we are already great. That many people do not know. During the election campaign, we heard 18,000 Muslim Americans serve in our armed forces. Other fact which is not widely known, there are about 25,000 Muslim doctors who are saving lives, providing quality health care to millions of Americans. Since the task is so great that I don't think a single organization can do the task. So we are dedicated to building coalitions with other leaders of other faiths, as well as civil rights groups and Muslim organizations also, because the task at hand is that we have to cooperate and collaborate with these organizations. And number 4, to counter negative narratives about Muslims Islam through engagement, dialogue, and proactive outreach. So in conclusion, AMI will continue to work with other like-minded groups on issues like protecting civil liberties in America, which is a no-brainer, and work on issues that affect, and this is very important, ladies and gentlemen, work on issues that affect Muslims in America, and not the usual international conflicts which have been going on for decades and decades, and also require a lot of sources, and also we have very little control and effectivity in that. So we will focus with the limited resources we have on issues which affect Muslims in America, ladies and gentlemen. So if you share this vision and are interested in volunteering or contributing financially, there's a table as you exit. If you want to volunteer, there's sign-up sheets, please do so. If you want to know more, please go to AmericanMuslimInstitution.org. The flyers you got as you entered the hall has the information about the telephone number, email address, and our website. So essentially, at this time, it's my great pleasure having made a pitch for AMI, very brief I hope. I want to introduce our next speaker and entertainer. And Wajahat Ali is an accomplished author of a book, journalist, commentator, and co-host of a TV talk show. He regularly appears on CNN and other networks on issues which affect he's also a consultant not only to other organizations but also the U.S. State Department on issues related to Muslims. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Wajahat Ali to the stage.
Give it up for Islam Uncle. His name is Islam Uncle. And Islam Uncle is so dope and gives so many 0 Fs that Hasan and I were backstage. We were just drinking chai, literally. Shafali, thank you for the chai. Hasan was putting espresso in his veins. We were waiting, someone said we go on at 8:10, and Matthew from 6 and I said, Islam Uncle's on stage. Islam Uncle is on stage. He went rogue, he's on stage, run. And that's because, true story, that's because Islam Uncle was actually, I don't know if you guys know this, Ambassador Islam. Not making this up. Ambassador, here up. The United States sent Islam all around the world. Yes. And he's actually not Muslim, he's a Jew, which is really strange. His parents just wanted to mess with him. We're like, we didn't call him Islam. I like when he said he was speaker and entertainer, Wajahat Ali. Never been introduced like that before. All you guys are looking at me right now, you guys are asking yourself one question. Hasan Minhaj got really fat in here. That's right. You thought that, didn't you? You thought that, yes. Nice, elderly Jewish lady. Just didn't even wait a second. Like, yep. About to turn away my money. Yep. Hasan was hot, but now you, somewhat hot, a little bit attractive. No? 6? Would you take me out for a schmear? No? She just claps and says nothing, like my wife. My wife's late. I'm glad that my wife is late to this event. Thank you, wife, for not being there, even though I got you a free seat. Wife. It's a true story. My wife was supposed to be there, not there. How you guys doing today? Thank you for that overwhelmingly enthusiastic response. You guys do not wait applause at all. You guys are there. Are you guys dead? Very low. Yeah, fake applause. That's my wife's section, by the way. Is my wife there? Why is my wife not here? I'm like slightly offended by this. Anyway, I'm not Hasan Minhaj. I'm not Riz Ahmed. I'm not Reza Aslan. I'm not Kumail Nanjiani. I'm not Mindy Kaling. I'm not Slumdog Millionaire's brother who put the cash out in the bathtub before he went guns blazing. I'm the guy you get when the rest of them say no. Thank you for that pity applause. This is an exquisite pop cultural reference. I am the Jason Statham of Muslim brown speakers. If you want The Rock and you want Vin Diesel, but they're busy, you get Jason Statham. A couple of witty quips, roundhouse kicks, you know what you're gonna get, 90 minutes, Transporter 5, maybe Transporter 6, and you go home happy. I'm your Jason Statham for today. Who here has no idea who I am? Raise your hand. It's okay. Thank you. My family raises their hand. That's awesome.
He recently leveled up when he was tapped to host the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And his first Netflix special, a taping of Homecoming King, is dropping this Tuesday. Hasan Minhaj has leveled up, and here he is. Give it up for Hasan. Hey, how are you? Hello, hi. Thank you so much. Hi, how's it going? Hey, how are you? Thank you. Wow. How are you, DC? Oh, God. We did it, right? We did it. You don't have to stand. That's cool, though. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can't even see me. You're going to see the back of my head the whole show. Oh, man. Good to be here. Oh, this is fun. I'm actually just glad to be back in civilization. I was in Alabama, and oof, yeesh. You ever go to a place, and they're like, hey, go back to where you came from? And you're totally right. I should do that. I need to get back to New York. Please, take me now. We agree. We agree about this. The Daily Show sent me there, and I was like, do you really have to send me there? We have white correspondents, you know that, right? We have Jordan, we have so many choices. I was flying back, and I'm on the plane, and I usually call my mom before we take off, because I'm a good Indian boy, and she's speaking to me in Urdu, which is not Arabic, but people don't know the difference, right? So she's on the phone with me. She's like, "Khula Hafiz Hasan khair, goodbye. Take care of yourself," right? But then she's waiting for me to respond back to her in Urdu. So everybody's looking at me. They're like, what are you gonna do? Like, whose side are you on? Are you gonna do? So I go super American. I go, goodbye, mother, click. And I felt bad. I could hear, like, Hasan, I could hear. I'm like, no, not right now. And I felt awful. That's my mom. Like, what am I doing? I'm having this esoteric crisis in my head. I'm changing my life to make other people feel safe. What am I doing? This is America. We live in a free country. Why am I changing my life to make other people feel safe? Then this other guy, he gets on the plane, right? And he sits down, and he pulls out a Samsung Galaxy Note 7. And he just starts texting. He's like, and I'm like, well, we got a talking terrorist on the plane right now. Get him off the plane. He's like, what do you mean? This is just I'm like, dude, you're literally texting on an explosive device. Have you not watched the news? And he's like, whoa, hey, man. Just because a few Samsungs blow up doesn't mean all of them blow up, all right? And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, all right? I'm not saying every Samsung blows up. I'm just saying every time a cell phone blows up, it happens to be a Samsung. That's all I'm saying, okay? I'm tired of this PC culture where we have to accommodate you people. He's like, oh, you people. You know what? We live in America. Don't blame me because I believe in Droid. I'm like, why can't you believe in Apple like the rest of us, okay? This is an Apple country, brother. Yeah, hold it up. Hold it up. Get off the plane.
He's like, hey, what you're doing is unconstitutional. I'm like, hey, man, I'm just trying to make this plane great again, okay? I'm a patriot. I'm a good American. We're losing. China. Okay. But it felt great, right? Like, to be white just for a moment. Push other people down.
I got racism in them. I totally get it. It was incredible. Then we landed. I'm like, no, back to reality. So I'm in Alabama, and they send me there to do this piece on gun control. So in Alabama, you can get a conceal and carry permit for $7. So the cost of a Chipotle burrito with avocado, you get a gun. So I'm a lover, I'm not a shooter, but I've always thought those Second Amendment people are crazy. You see them on TV all the time. They have like the tinfoil hats. They're like, hey man, the government's trying to get me. I need a gun. I've always been like, these guys are nuts. But then on January 20th, Trump became president, and I was like, hey man, the government is trying to get me. I need a gun. Like, we're the same, Billy Bob. I get it. So I go down to the Walmart, and I was like, let me get a gun. And he's like, every American should have a gun. It was like Nintendo Wii's guns. And I'm like, let me get a gun. He's like, what type of gun do you want? You want a dinner gun? Like, apparently it's like, you can have like a dinner date. Take this gun, sushi. And it's like a dinner gun, shotgun. He's like, Elizabeth Warren hates this gun. He at a Walmart. So, people are playing, what are you doing? Lays them all out. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get all 30 of these guns. I gotta go down to the mosque and start a brown militia. And he's like, what? Nah. He's like doing long division in his head. He's like, no. What? Every American should have a gun. Give me the gun. And he's like, I'm like, what? What is the matter? We're like, we're taping, we're rolling on this. And he's like, you could be in ISIS. And I was like, what? And he's like, stop rolling. And I'm like, all right, stop rolling. Keep rolling. And he's like, you could be in ISIS. And I'm like, first of all, why would they recruit me? Like you know, we need like an Indian boy band member looking dude. What are Hasan Minhaj's avails right now? Number two, I don't think you know how immigration works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you get it. Because I was like, what is the deal? He's like, look, I've been watching the news, and it says people who look like you go to Syria, they radicalize, then they come back here, and they kill us. And I'm like, dude, I know you live in Alabama, but I don't think you understand how immigration works. It's not that easy to get into this country. It's not like a broken condom where you're like, I slipped in. It doesn't work like that. Like, we had too much wine. Now there's a Mexican family here. That's not how it works. And then, number two, you can't just go to Syria. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go on kayak.com and be like, hey, how much are tickets to Aleppo? Let me see. You gotta go to like Jordan or Turkey. Then you go over mountains into a war zone. You might die trying to get there. Like the same way white girls get to Coachella is the same way I would have to join. Listen, Becky, there was a dude, he slid into my DMs. He says, if we can get to Jordan, there's another guy. He has a pickup truck. I've never met him, but shut up, Becky, stop being so basic. He says he will drive us to Aleppo, and then we'll figure it out. It'll be chill. We'll Airbnb it. We'll chop a few heads. Stop being so basic. Everybody chops a few heads in their 20s. It doesn't work like that. Oh my God. You know, it's crazy. Everybody thinks they're gonna die from terrorism, but statistically, that's not how it's gonna happen. I looked up the numbers. You're more likely to die like texting or like walking across the street and getting hit by. You're more likely to die texting about ISIS than actually dying from ISIS. Like, oh my God, I'm so scared of ISIS. Like, like that's more likely to happen than you actually dying from ISIS. My black friends, they have their priorities figured out. Like, I asked Roy, I'm like, Roy, are you afraid of ISIS? He's like, no, I'm afraid of the cops. Those are the real terrorists. I'm like, okay, duly noted. What about number 2? He's like, spiders. I'm like, really? you ever had bed bugs? That's like ice, but they live in your apartment. I'm like, okay. All right. But I think, you know what I think it is? You know what's weird is if us worrying about terrorism, it's a big leap to make that the way, like, oh, I'm gonna die that way. You're not gonna go out like Tupac. Like, you're gonna die from like, you're gonna die from like cholesterol. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen. It's like, oh, he had too much Nahari, now he's dead. But like us worrying about terrorism is like a homeless dude worrying about property tax. Like, it could happen, but like, is it? You know, like, yeah, other priorities to think about. But I think we're having our moment. Brown people, we're having our moment. Like, Muslim is the new black. Unless you're a black Muslim, then you're just like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, my apologies. My deepest condolences. But there's always that boogeyman. Like, when you watch the news, there's always that thing you're afraid of. Like, Muslims are like, anthrax, Zika, pirates. Remember like 3 years ago, we were all legitimately afraid of Somali pirates. There was that movie Captain Phillips. People were losing their minds. I watched the movie Captain Phillips in Chicago in a movie theater. People were losing their mind. Like, I'm the captain now. Then Tom Hanks fucked him up. Like, yeah, get him, Tom Hanks. I'm like, dude, you live in Illinois. You're landlocked. They can't get you. What are you in your bathtub? Like, you never know. I'm the captain now. It's not gonna happen.
We were sitting in your banyans and pajamas, and you can translate banyan.
Tank top.
Brown Sausage Fest at
You know what's
Charles
cool?
apartment.
No, but you know what's really cool is we hear these stories like when our parents first immigrated to America in the 60s and 70s and 80s. There'll always be that New York story where, you know, Khalid uncle was living in New York, and so I came to New York and I stayed at his apartment. And our parents were basically the first people to come and then set up their jobs and their life. I was telling Waj this, in our industry, we were like the first brown people at our jobs. So that was a very unique thing. And so we had that same thing 30 years later where, oh, Sharaf is working at, you know, NBC News.
It was NBC at that time, right.
And, you know, you're doing your playwright thing and I'm doing the comedy. We're the first, and so we had that same sort of like immigrant, we're not married yet.
Yeah.
We all like crash.
Still awkward.
Yeah. Like we're all crashing on the same.
Literally the couches.
So that's, to me, that was like really cool that we're doing something our parents did.
But isn't that like, yeah, I mean, in a way heartwarming because like I look back fondly at that and I see Hasan, I'm like the older, hairier brother. And so I see Hasan, I see how much he worked, right? I saw the struggle, the sweat, and I told him in the green room, now we'll talk about this in a second, now he's no longer Hasan Minhaj. He's Hasan Minhaj.
Oh.
There's been a shift. But I knew Hasan when he was Hasan. And I'm gonna do a lot of Urdu Desi jokes because you know you get this many brown people in a synagogue, or we gotta milk it. I was in Minnesota like 3 weeks ago, right? And there's these young up-and-coming American Muslims who want to get involved in politics. It was really cool. American Muslim Democratic Caucus, and everyone, I mentioned your name in a speech as someone who's like breaking new ground and pushing things forward, and everyone applauded, right? And I did a dant of them. I took a chappal and I threw my chappal at them, right?
He scolded them.
Yeah. Because I said, where were you guys 4 years ago and 5 years ago when Hasan was hustling in his banyan and his pajamas, right?
I mean, I was clothed, but
Bina, he was banyan and pajamas, am I right? Yes, okay. Sure, fine. Now he's like, Hasan doesn't wear banyan and pajamas, Hasan dresses well. Hasan's in GQ.
I still wear
but it's interesting.
It's comfortable.
But look, there's a shift now. In the last month, there's been a shift. And I could tell you, even within American Muslim communities and in mainstream communities, you are no longer Hasan Minhaj. You are Hasan Minhaj. And how has that shift, because it is a shift, how has that affected you? How are you processing this?
What?
He's like, I thought it was going to be banyan and pajamas.
I know, I was like, we go from bananas.
You got me, Waj.
Now it's really serious. No, it's cool. I think what's awesome is I was lucky enough to get a lot of really cool opportunities, and you know, you try to do the best work you can, you make the most of it, and it's cool. It's very rare. You know, the dinner was one of those things where a lot of times you work really hard and you're on the show, and people obviously knew me from The Daily Show, but the dinner's one of those things where people around the country and around the world watch it. So usually it'll be a person who is really well established, you know. So if you look at the previous years, it's like Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, Conan O'Brien, Cecily Strong, people that have their own show, you know. And my name was being thrown around, and I coincidentally got the gig, and it was one of those things where I think it just hit at the right moment.
It's a very humble, self-effacing answer, which we will dig and tear apart very quickly. A very, very good talking point answer, which is sincere. But look, you leveled up, right? You went from Chapli. You went from Chapli to doing stand-up comedy to the Taco Bell to the MTV show.
To Pizza Hut. Come on, man.
Keeping it real. Yeah. What do you got against Taco Bell?
I mean, if they want to pay me, I'll do whatever for Taco Bell.
But the Daily Show was a huge level up. And the White House correspondent was like, it took you to the Hasan level, not Hasan anymore.
No, but to me, that's the thing of like, whatever Hasan level, I want to, you know, the goal, and I talk about this in the special, Homecoming King, is the goal is you want to be Hasan Minhaj. That's what it is. It's not like Hasan Minhaj, whatever. And I talk about that, and like, I'm not Hasan Minhaj, I'm Hasan Minhaj. There's a new Brown America. And so my goal is to try to make that the norm, that you don't have to edit or truncate your name or whatever, you know?
I'm down with that. Before I wrap this up, do the VIP people get to see you somewhere, or am I just making this up?
I think so. I think there's going to be an announcement.
Okay, so let's give it up to Sixth and I for hosting.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us.
Give it up to everyone for coming.
I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
And we have Hasan Minhaj's first Netflix special.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you. One more time for watch.
Let's have another round of applause for Hasan and Wajahat. Hello, everyone. My name is Sumaira, and I am the treasurer for the American Muslim Institution. As we wrap up our event, I wanted to take a minute to thank our co-sponsor, DC's Sixth and I Historic Synagogue. We truly appreciate all of their help in organizing and coordinating the event, all of their support, and we look forward to working with them in the future. A big thanks to all of you for coming out tonight and for everyone who participated and contributed to this event. And of course, a huge thanks to Hasan Minhaj and Wajahat Ali for their entertaining and thought-provoking performances and for taking the time to be here today. Once again, this event was hosted by the American Muslim Institution, AMI, who works to weave the American Muslim narrative into the greater American story. Please visit our website at www.americanmusliminstitution.org for more information and for ways that you can get involved. Thank you and have a great night.
Give it up.